All right, so welcome back to BM Talks to Them, episode 2. I'm here with my lovely wife, Arlette.
Hello, hello.
You should know her by now. And today we have a very special guest. This guy, a lot of people call him the marketing guru. They call him the pie master. There's been a lot of noise about this guy. Today we have the one and only James Gourmet Pies. Welcome.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Welcome. How you feeling, bro?
Good, great, blessed.
Nice. It's good to have
how
you.
about y'all? Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes, James, it's been a journey. There's so much comments about you. James Gourmet Pies everywhere. How do you feel getting them type of comments? How do you feel seeing that?
You know what? I love it. I'm not used to shying away from comments and people's opinions of me or views or values. Bring it on. I love to see it all. The good, the bad, the ugly. Sometimes I'm laughing at a lot of the comments myself. So, I love to see it.
Okay. So I remember when you first came on the show, well, before that, I spoke to you and you was very, you spoke to me and said, BM, the dating pool right now is hard. It's very hard. It's difficult to find the right woman. And you believe that you can find her on our show. So I said, okay, I thought your intentions were pure, I didn't know much about your pie business, to be honest, when I first spoke to you. So it was kind of surprising when you came on. You kept saying it 50,000 times.
Don't forget, he brought pies for us backstage.
Right. Yeah, he even bought pies backstage.
They was going quickly too.
Very.
I was like, man, some of y'all going in for seconds and thirds and not, sharing some. So.
Yeah. So when I spoke to you, you said, yeah, you're looking for a good girl and stuff like that. So I do want to ask you, James, what's your intentions to find love?
Definitely. I feel like I have everything that I want, out of life. And to have a partner, I think would be absolutely amazing. So at the time when I was on the show, it was like, I hope I find that right one. And like I said on the reunion, I would say the first one was the best fit for me if I was the hand-picked one, but
That was
it just
Driva.
went there.
Driva.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Driva.
What was it about Driva that you liked so much?
I don't know. I liked her goofy personality and energy. I think that's something that I'm into. I don't know if I need the complete opposite of what I am. When someone says, "What's your type?" I don't know that I have a type. I don't know. She could be a working woman. She could be an at-home mom. It really doesn't matter to me, just I guess when you know type thing, So,
Okay.
yeah.
So what made you want to come onto the show?
Right.
You know what? First and foremost, before being a contestant and wanting to be a contestant, huge fan of the show. As soon as the notification pops up, I am on it.
Hey,
I see a lot of people, right? I see a lot of people comment after I refresh it because there's no comments, 0 views.
Right.
I was the first one here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I wish I would have screenshot it because, I'm a huge fan of the show first and foremost,
Right.
And then secondly, I'm never afraid to try something different and put myself out there in front of the world. And, I just hope that it would have went the way that I wanted it to go. Right. Unfortunately, sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you, so it didn't work out in my favor. But, number one fan for sure.
Oh,
okay.
We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, sure. Definitely.
For sure. So James, obviously, you had an adventure on the show. I want to play back some moments from the show so people can know a bit more about you.
My name is James with James Gourmet Pies. James with James Gourmet Pies. I'm James with James Gourmet Pies, 37.
Let's go on over here. If we can have your name and age.
My name is James Gourmet Pies. Facebook, Instagram, check me out. James Gourmet Pies, 37. James Gourmet Pies, 37. James Gourmet Pies, 37. Even the Bible says, if I give you a talent and you waste it, go to hell. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm the best at what I do, and that's how I introduce myself. I don't care who I'm talking to. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody need to have a 30-second commercial.
Right, right, James. Let's
James Gourmet Pies, 37.
let's get into that the Bible verse there that you're talking about.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
Can you please just explain to people where you read that?
Okay,
it's very strong. It's very strong.
Yeah, what version? We got to know it all.
Right.
So if you could do me a favor and you read the scripture, I will give it to you firsthand.
Okay.
Right?
read it.
It's Matthew 25, 26 through 30.
Okay.
And you can read it in whatever translation you like. Personally, I like the King James Version.
King James, okay. All right, so I'm about to read from the King James Version, Matthew 25, verse 26 to 30. Here we go.
Please.
So it said, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant.
Thou wicked and slothful servant, excuse me. Yes.
Okay. Thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed.
That's
Thou
right.
oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury.
That's right.
Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from
That's
him
right.
that hath not shall be taken away.
But
even
him that what? Hold on, let's read that one again, please. Please, you wicked and slothful servants. What did he say do for them?
So he
Because he said multiply the ones that got abundance, right?
Right. But he
Now
said,
what we gonna do for the wicked ones?
but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath.
That's right.
And to the 30, here's our last one. And
That's
cast
right.
ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall
right.
be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Does that sound like hell to any of us? That sounds like hell to me. And you know what? I'm okay with somebody else telling me to go to the outer darkness with the weeping and the gnashing of the teeth. I don't want Jesus Christ telling me to go to the outer darkness with weeping and gnashing teeth or whatever it was. So
Right.
to me, that sounds like hell.
Okay, so for you, that's how you translate it. Like, if you don't use these talents I'm giving you, because, the words are read in the Bible. We know those are the words of Jesus Christ. So, it says here in your words that if you don't use those talents you're given, go to hell.
Yeah. Well, can I ask y'all, what would that mean? What's that interpretation for y'all?
I mean, everyone takes it differently, but I mean, I think the way you said it on the show was very strong.
Right. And I see how people can always take something and make it mean something else or get their interpretation. But to me, I don't see how that can be interpreted any other way, right?
Okay.
He said, if you waste your talents, I'm going to take it from you, give it to this guy that already got a bunch of talents, and you wicked and slothful servant, go to the gnashing teeth with the outer darkness. And no, I don't sugarcoat it. So I'm just like, you're not getting it in King James version. You're getting it in the James Gourmet. You know what I mean? But
James Gourmet Pie version.
The James Gourmet Pie version. That's what that sounds like to me. I'm open to any different interpretations. Comment in the bottom below. Set me straight.
Right.
But to me, that says I'm gonna take the talents from you if you waste them, and I'm gonna cast you to the outer darkness.
So I must say, James, that's very powerful there. What you say, a lot of people on the internet, they like to take things as it is. So when you said that in the Bible, they want to know it's like is that the exact words that was said?
Yes, yes, that's the exact words.
So I guess that's why people are commenting like, where is that written? Where's that written? And I mean, the way you explained it, that's how you think.
We can see where you get that from, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so James, for you to kind of like just know that off the top of your head, like, did you grow up in the church? Like, for you to know the Bible, or how did you even know to link that together right on the spot like that?
Yeah.
You know what? I did. I was raised Pentecostal. My father growing up was a Pentecostal preacher. My mom did everything else in the church. She had us in the choir. She did ushers. So we was in church at least 5 days out of the week,
Wow.
the usher meetings and the Bible meetings and the Sunday morning school and Sunday evening church and, the day service. Like we was in church a lot.
Right.
And I even wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween or anything like that. We would go to hallelujah parties,
Hallelujah night. Hallelujah
Yeah,
night. You know it as Christians.
That's right. That's right. So I know everything in the church. But to be honest with you, my relationship didn't become solidified until I had a coming to God moment.
Oh.
Yep. And a lot of people will have their coming to God moment on their deathbed, or, you'll hear these stories about, I got into a car accident and I seen the white light and then the hand said, it's not your turn,
Right.
and all that. And for me, I was at a point where I was on my last leg. Like I felt like I've done everything that I could do to stand, like the Bible says that you should do. And I was out of options. And I remember sitting in my living room in the dark because my lights got shut off. I was being evicted, and I was still working 20 hours a day, like I was just going hard. I wasn't sleeping good, my family was leaving me. My friends was leaving me. I was going through a divorce. Everything that you can think of was just all happening at
All at
once.
once. Wow.
So I remember being at my kitchen table. This is the fall of 2017, right before I even, pies wasn't even on my mind. I was doing the military. I was doing a cleaning company. I had like a cell phone store. I don't know if I could say the name of the cell phone store, but I had a cell phone. I had a lot of different things going on at once, and everything was crumbling. So, I just got into a deep depression that one night, and it was like kind of like that final prayer for me. Like, I can't go on. There's not a whole lot that I can do to move forward. And I just remember God saying, as clear as day, can you hear me now? Right. And it didn't remind me of anything of being in church. It wasn't cute. It wasn't cool or funny. It was terrifying. It was exciting. It was nerve wracking. It was like all these emotions mixed in one. I felt like the mad Joker because I'm crying and laughing and all that stuff, and it felt like my ancestors. If I had to put like a feeling to it, I would say it felt like my ancestors was just around me trying to lift me up, And then another clear message that I heard right after that was go check the mail, right? And that's the last thing I wanted to do because I was getting sued. I was, eviction notices and everything was that I didn't want to see in my mailbox.
Right.
But I promise you on everything that I love, when I went to go check that mailbox, it was check after check after check from places I ain't even heard of, places like, I thought this was done years ago. And, I was just able to get back on my feet again. And again, this was right before Christmas. So my kids was able to have a Christmas. I was able to move out into a place,
So essentially, so essentially, you're saying it's like a miracle, basically that.
Oh, definitely.
So you don't know where these checks are coming from.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't even verify them until they was cash. And I was out of there.
He said, pay my bills first, then I'll see how
right.
real
I know
you
that's
are.
right. Yeah, listen, I know that's right. And they was like, yeah, this is from 2-3 years ago or whatever. Everything turned out to be good.
Right.
So, like huge blessings like that. I feel like God has to reveal himself to you. Maybe some people can get him from church or from hearing about it. Hats off to them. But to me, when it was like, oh my gosh, this is real. You know what I mean? Like that's when everything changed.
Moment.
That was my moment. And to be honest with you, that is the same fall that I started the sweet potato pies. Right? Yeah. So again, it was around fall time. So we was having a military bake sale, so I started baking these sweet potato pies, and all the other sergeants would have cookies and cakes and all this other stuff out, pumpkin pie.
Right.
And nobody was eating the sweet potato pie, right? So I said, not another sergeant or officer is going to walk by this table and at least not try the sweet potato pie.
Right.
So, he tried it and he called other people over. You got to come try this. He got all excited for it. And I was like, why did you guys originally not try the sweet potato pie?
Right. What's going on here?
Right.
Well, I found out that there's certain states that are pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie.
Okay.
And nobody here knew anything about sweet potato pie.
Okay.
And, I felt like Sanford and Son, where he holding it hard, like, what? Y'all know about sweet potato pie? Like, come on, man, this ain't a cake or a cookie. Like, this is something that talks to your soul. You know what I mean? So, they had people calling me for, pies and their friends and family. And, I'd already had experience in business.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let me start an LLC. Let me start insurance. Let me get a business going. And then let me do like smaller farmers markets,
Right.
And I was selling out of the smaller farmers markets.
Getting yourself out.
Originally, right. See, originally I wasn't. So this is it's levels to it, and it's things that you learn. And I'm big on each one, teach one. So anybody who asks me for advice, I'll tell them how I started. I don't mind telling them, any of that. Somebody once told me the game is to be sold and not told. And, that's so sick-minded. Because by the time you get where I'm at, I'm hoping to be over here. So then by the next time you call me, I can pull you up,
Always progression.
So anyway, always progression. So I started at the small farmers markets. Same thing happened there. People are just seeing, oh, that's sweet potato pie. Like they would walk over like they're going to try it. And then as soon as they see my sign or I say, oh, yeah, sweet potato pie, they're like,
no, thank you.
I don't like sweet
Because
potato.
it looks just like pumpkin pie, like similar.
Right.
Very similar.
So to be honest with you, for the first year, I would turn my sign around. Like, I don't even want nobody to see what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and when they come over and ask, I'm going to be like, I'll tell you. The thing that I would say is I will tell you, but you got to promise me you'll still try it.
Right.
So once they tried it, then, but of course I would ask if you have any allergies or anything like that.
Right. So how did you get into baking or sweet potato pie specifically? Like what encouraged you to start doing that? How did you get into it?
Well, I mean, always as a kid.
Did anyone teach you? Like,
yeah,
you
so
learn from someone?
Towards the last years of my grandmother's life, that was our time together. I wanted to go play video games or I wanted to go run the streets, and she would be like, no, we about to bake this cake or we about to make this pies or something like that. We about to bake, and then I learned to sell those because we would bake so many. I would learn to sell those at the church or something like that. And people would be like, when are you bringing them cakes or something like that?
Okay.
But my stepmom is the one who made these similar pies, right?
Okay.
And the thing is I don't know, maybe it's just my family, but a lot of people don't share recipes. They say, just make it your own,
Right.
So she would guide me through it, but she would never be like this, and this, and this,
Right.
And so I have two strong bakers on both sides of the family. So I would call them and they'd be like, well, why are you doing this? Do it this way. Why are you doing this way? So I got East Coast and South, like mixture,
Right.
So I was able to blend that and kind of come up with my own thing. So
nice. So you do more than just pies, or? Because I know you said gourmet pies, but you're saying
no, just pies.
Okay.
I tried cookies and I tried all this other stuff, but it's not as authentic to me as pies.
Yeah.
The American tradition used to be when somebody dies or something like that, or you wanted to uplift somebody's spirit, you would bring them a pie or something like that. And to me, like hearing those stories of when people brought them to somebody else or brought them to a family tradition, or when my business really took off was during COVID when everybody was locked down and they're like, I remember that pie. I'm going to send it to this person, send it to that person. That year we did well over 6 figures, because that's what American culture is, right? Like you give somebody a pie, you bring them a pie when you want to uplift them, and hearing them stories when I do go out and do these kind of events is like priceless.
So when did you know that this is a hit?
Yeah.
There must have been a moment, like, even me as a producer, I'm also a musician. I remember when I done my first big song, I was like, yeah, this is it. When did you know that this pie is hitting? This pie has got people wanting more. When did you finally realize that you have something big in your hands here?
Well, like I said, when I had my coming to God moment, I knew things were going to change for me, because I was just listening to like motivational stuff to keep me going.
Right.
My main gig at that time in 2017 was commercial cleaning. So whenever my spirits was down and I wasn't sleeping well, I would throw on some Eric Thomas, or they would throw in little clips of Bishop T.D. Jakes, while I'm cleaning and all this
Right.
stuff and I'm listening to it. But it was like this God thing is really lifting me up. The
Right.
motivation is good when I'm down, like it's bringing me up for a little bit, but then
Right.
you got to deal with reality. But when I'm listening to these little clips of Bishop T.D. Jakes, it's like, this is uplifting my spirit, something different. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, like, how did I know it was going to be a hit? It was all progressive, like
Okay.
from the first military bake sale, the light switch went off. Like, oh my gosh, cleaning is pretty good money, but I'm not getting that reaction that they just gave me.
Right.
I'm being celebrated right now. Like, what is
Right.
this?
Right.
And let me get this. I got to get this to them. So you kind of chasing that feeling more than anything. Like, I'm providing something to somebody,
Right.
and it's uplifting them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's when I quit everything. I quit everything in 2020. The
Wow.
military, the cleaning business, everything else that I was doing, the cell phone store. It was just all about pies. And then that's when it just went through
So
the roof.
2020, the whole world was pretty much shut down. Like, how were you
Yeah.
able to get sales when everyone's like, I'm scared to leave my house,
Right.
and we can't even leave our house at some times.
Right.
Like, how were you able to do it?
Well, first of all, God is the greatest.
Amen.
And
Won't
I'm
you do
going to
it?
continue saying that. Yes, he did.
Amen.
Yes, he did.
Do
Because
not
you
be
know
shy.
what? Yes, right. Because you know what? In January, February timeframe, there was talks of this COVID.
Right, yeah.
But who would have thought by March, April time, it would have been like streets is quiet. And even in New York, like
Exactly.
nobody's moving. So around January, February timeframe, I'm quitting everything. I'm putting my notices in. I'm selling off accounts, because I see at these little farmers markets that I'm selling out,
Right.
So why not do the bigger ones, the more populated ones, And then everything shut down. So someone that is a business associate of mine was like, I know this guy that does marketing, and I think you should talk to him. So I think that was God just intervening there. And I was like, look, I ain't got no money because I wasn't able to get the PPP or whatever.
Right.
It looked
Right,
like
right.
I had just quit the military, so I'm not getting unemployment.
Right.
I just have cleaning equipment. And I'm like, man, I would clean your office every single day. If you give me this opportunity and just run my business marketing wise for the first 2-3 months until I can pay everything off.
Wow.
So he took me under his wing. In 2020, it was just like, what do they call it? The no contact delivery. So I would
leave it at
knock
the
on the
door.
door, leave it at the door, leave
Run.
your pies right there. Yeah, run, basically. I'm across the street. Thank you.
Yeah.
They talk about, who are you? Oh, do you know Miss Johnson? She sent you a pie. Tell Miss Johnson, thank you. I appreciate you, And then that's how it just organically grew because, so many people had knew how to uplift their neighbors or whatever, their friends, coworkers, whoever. And then when they tried it, then it's all just growing organically,
Yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah, it was a beautiful time.
Wow.
I also want to ask you, James, because obviously we all know how hard it is when you're trying to chase a dream and you say, for instance, you have a partner and they don't quite understand that. It's not that they don't understand. A lot of partners need stability, in order for you lot to function. How was it like chasing this dream? Like you said, you went through a divorce, right? Did you have difficulties chasing the dream and, having a partner? Or how did you go about that?
So I would say I've been in 3 serious relationships. I've been married 2 of those times. The third one is, a child's mother. The first relationship didn't really work out because, for one, we were super young. For 2, it was like, I'm going to get out of the military. You're going to stay in the military. And, it just didn't end up working out. So, and then with like the last marriage, you know, you've seen the movies, the acrimonies, the what was the other Pursuit of Happiness, the Founder, all that stuff. Like I would say, when you're trying to build a business, it's super stressful.
Yep.
It's time consuming. It drains all your money. You know, a lot of people think you start a business and then 3 months later you're gonna be in the lap of luxury, right? No, it could take 10, 15 years, you know what I mean, before it really takes off. So you just got to have that patience. And I would say, if I could do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have jumped in so many relationships at the time and just chased the business. I feel like God has to put you in isolation. When he said those words to me, "Can you hear me now?" That's something I'm gonna take to my grave, because you know, that was so powerful at the time. It's like I had so many different distractions, I had so many different people in my ear, you know, telling me this and telling me that, and I wasn't listening to what God told me to do next, you know. And had I not had that experience in that time, I'm probably sure that I would have more stress on me. I'd still be opening stores. I'd still be trying to chase this. It was more of a money thing, you know. It's trying to chase money, and you can't chase money like when you're chasing a dream. You got to chase the dream, and then the money's gonna come, you know. So for me, I would say, yeah, chase that dream. And if you find someone that would, I just say chase the dream.
Chase the dream.
Do what you was put to do. Do what you put here to do, and then, you know, everything will fall in the line.
Okay.
Know? Right. But I'm no longer trying to put that circle block in the triangle peg or whatever it's called. You know, like I'm no longer forcing things. If it don't go smoothly and the way it's supposed to go, then
let it go.
It's not for me. You gotta let that go.
Right. Yeah. So you're basically saying that you should chase the dream no matter what.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Bible says it. Do we have to go back to Matthew?
The reason why I'm saying this is, like, what about the stability part? Like, you know, there's a lot of people that that go through situations where the money's not coming in, you know, as how you want it. But some people choose not to have like a normal job, but they're chasing the dream. So there's no money there. So some partners get frustrated that nothing is happening. Like that situation there, you still recommend keep chasing the dream?
Yeah, because you know what? If you're chasing money or the bag, that's temporary. You might get it and still not be fulfilled and happy, because that's not where happiness comes from. You know, like, yeah, it's nice to go on vacations. It's nice to buy things. But eventually you can get to a point where money's just not satisfying for you. You know what I mean? Even to this day, like, God knows how to correct me. You know, you can't drink out some of the pain that you're going to go through. Right. You can't smoke it out. You can't, excuse my language, sex it out. You know, like, there's nothing you can do but call on God and be like, God, I need you at this moment to lift my spirits and to get me back into the game. So if money is your motivation, like, you're starting off wrong. You know, that's why that's why I had so many eggs in so many baskets, because I was chasing the bag, you know, like, it's like, okay, to clean. Yeah, it wasn't working. Like, I was miserable, you know. It's so many people that are rich and then miserable, you know what I mean? You can't even enjoy it because you're not centered, you know, you don't have anything, you don't have a solid foundation to stand on. Like, you just, you know, like, you see, it's funny you say that, because you see, like, builders. I live in a new development. Right? You know, my community is a new development. And before they put the house on top, you see them for months digging deeper. You know, they're laying that foundation. They got to dig deep, and then they got to lay the foundation, you know. Once they throw the house on top, that's like, you about a month away from having your house built.
Literally.
It's fast. Yeah. But that foundation, you just see them out there sweating and digging for a long time. And then, you know, your house is good. You know, it's built on something. So
gotta have a firm foundation.
You gotta have that firm foundation. If you just throw a house on top of something that ain't, it's gonna blow away.
Right away.
It's gonna blow. And you see that with lottery winners. They win hundreds of millions of dollars, and then it's like a year or two, you broke. Yeah. Like, what? You wouldn't have never made that much.
I can definitely relate to some things that you're saying, because me myself as well, how I am right now is because of God. That's why I say I'll never be shy to praise his name. Never, that's ever. Because I'm here because of him, you know. My journey's been very rough. It's been very, you know, I had a lot of stuff happen to me, but I never had like a 9 to 5 where I'm working consistently. I was making music,
creative,
and God just blessed me along the way. If it was not him, then there would be no BM, you know.
That's right. That's right.
So like you said, there, like, very important for you to have, you know, some form of you know, belief. Like like for me, I believe in God, and I kept Jesus Christ. I kept, you know, believing and trusting, and the blessings will come, you know, never stop. So that's why I say I can relate to you as well. A lot of people have dreams and they don't know how to go and how the money's gonna come, and it's like, you know, it's difficult in this world because you need to pay bills.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. When I got my divorces, I was like, look, I understand. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I'm not a finished product. But, you know, so you get that ultimatum, it's me or the dream. And it's like, well, you know, I'm going to chase this dream. I have to. Like, it's something in me. It should be a big enough fire in you that no matter what comes your way, you're going to figure it out. You know, and that's what builds the foundation, right? Is going through it, and running against walls and checking all these doors and they're not opening, and then one opens up. You know, I hate it when people tell me, you know, they ran into this big obstacle and then they quit, because that's happened to me so many times. And I'm like, at each level, because you know when you're about to level up, because you just figured it out. You know? And it's like so many people, when they quit, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I could understand why that would have taken you out. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand. Everybody leaving you want to keep your family around. You want to keep your friends around. Yeah, like, I get it. You know what I mean? But you got to fight through it. You got to fight through it. And it teaches you something. So when people be like, you know, it's a money thing. And it's like, well, if you can't make money without money, what makes you think you're going to make money with money? You know, like, it doesn't make it easier. Like, once you get a bag, that don't mean like everything's figured out for you.
Exactly.
You know, if you knew how to make money without making money, now you know how to make more money without, you know, with having money.
So more of the story. Keep working, don't stop. Figure it out.
That's
and
Yeah.
All right, so I actually want to play a clip here. Let me play this clip so we can all see.
As a father, nobody's going to whoop my kids. No. But if I am the step parent of somebody else's kids, I'm going to whoop them.
Oh. James. What's going on?
Oh, man.
Can we read another while we in Bible class today? Can we read another one from the King James Version? Because this is what you guys got to understand what motivates me, right? What makes me think the way I think. And I tell you, a lot of it comes from the Bible, and it's not always sugar-coated. And sometimes in church, they preach a lot of prosperity, which I love, or they preach the hand of God. But there's some scriptures in there that I think needs to be, and this is a very popular one. This is one everybody's heard, but Proverbs 13:24.
Okay. Proverbs. Let me pull my Bible back.
And I want to hear everybody's interpretation of that in the comments. What they think that means.
You said Proverbs
13:24.
13:24. Here we go. You want King James version?
Sure, let's keep it King James.
So it said so Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes.
That's right. If you spare that rod, you hate your child. I didn't say it. I didn't write it, you know, but I see it. Like, sometimes, and you know, some of us 80s and 90s kids and babies, y'all need to back me up. Y'all remember some of those whoopings saved our lives. You know, it kept us out of the streets. Every single whooping I got, I deserved it. You know, it's not something like. Now, I do want to say one thing, right? On an all serious note. Some people was abused.
Right.
And if you was abused, I'm sorry, that's not what discipline is. That's not the rod. That's abuse. And there's two different. They're two way over here. They're not the same. You know what I mean? Like a good spanking or a good discipline. My mom would hug me afterwards and tell me it hurt her just as much as it hurt me, if not more. You know, and at the time, of course, you thinking like, nah, ain't no way. But as an adult, you should know now, like, that is hard. It's hard to spank your children. You shouldn't want to do that. You know, it should be something that is going to save them. You know, something like you going too far off the deep end. You know, and now when I said I would spank a stepchild, again, like these are circumstantial. You know, like the father can't be in the life. You know. Or like like if the child's father is dead or locked up or just not involved, I gotta step in there. And we a real family. Like it's not like I'm here, we playing family, you know. I gotta step in and be that role model. You know what I mean? Like even to let you into my personal life, because I'm speaking from personal experience. My daughter, when I got her, she was 4 or 5 years old. And her father wasn't in her life, you know, and, you know, that's my biological son's sister, you know, but God told me even back then that that's my child. She's going to be mine, you know. Well, I knew this was going to be mine. So
you're actually saying this from experience, like
from experience.
You raised a child.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And I never had to like get what I got, you know, to her, you know, so you just flick the fingers a little bit, you know, maybe tap the butt a little bit. You know, you ain't got to go crazy. Okay. Soft parenting does work for the majority of the time. But if I would have got a call, you know, older in her life, like she's in middle school and she's smoking crack in the bathroom, doing backflips off the teacher's desk and the principal. Yeah, we got to reel that in a little bit. You wilding out. You know what I mean? But you didn't wash the dishes or something like that. Give me the phone.
Right.
You know, give me the credit card or whatever. Give me the car or something like that. You know, like you got to gauge the situation. You know what I mean? Like like I said, there's a huge difference between abuse and child discipline. So.
Literally. Okay, because you said on there, you know, nobody's hitting your kid, but when you're a stepdad, you gonna whip the child.
Right. So now, if God called me home early, or you know, and I ain't gonna say that. If I go to jail or something like that, you know, God forbid. Then I mean, if you're the stepdad and you taking over that role, and my son's wilding out, you know, go on and do that. But I'm in his life. I have my child 24/7, 7 days a week.
No need for
and
that.
Ain't no need for that. Like, I have my child, like I said, every day, you know, like, and every father doesn't get that opportunity. I get that, you know, but, if you're involved in your child's life, you're right. There should be no other man that needs to hit your child. You know, like you should be taking that role on.
So if your stepkids in the future, if you have any, we're just, you know, speaking, if their father was involved in their life and the school ends up calling home, whatever it is, you would allow the father to handle that, or you're saying you're going to step in as well? Oh,
most definitely. Especially if we married, like if we married and that's my stepkids or something like that, like for sure, come grab.
Get your child.
You know, come get your child. Make sure you. And to be honest with you, I'm being completely honest with you. If we have this child full time, or you know, you every other weekend, something like that, you know, and you still not getting through to them, then who knows where it'll go? Especially if they wilding out like that, like.
Right.
You know, again, it's not like you didn't do dishes and I told you to do that. That's soft parenting. But I'm talking about to the parents that are losing their child, and some of y'all are losing your children early. You know, these kids is dying in these streets early, you know, and we just don't have that discipline that we used to have, you know, so I think it needs to come back again.
Okay.
So you're basically saying the fathers need to be in their kids' lives.
1,000%.
100%.
And if they're not, then the other guy, the stepdad, whatever, can discipline them.
Again, you got to gauge it. It's your household. You know what I mean? Like, you got to gauge that because I'm going to always be the king of my castle. And like I said on the show, you got to be ready what comes with that. You know, like some of the people in the comments were talking about if he was there to whoop my kid, I would come over there and shoot him up and blah, blah, blah. You know, and most of the time it'd be there's baby mama's house that I'm over. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, word, it be them. And then when the child goes back with the father that comes around every blue moon, they crying and acting out like, nah, I don't want to go with you. I want to stay here where it's real at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this
Wow.
man's taking care of us. Like it's 99% love. Like kids typically don't ever play with me like that.
Right.
Like I never have to whoop them. They can see it in my eyes. Like, okay, you done with that. Yeah, you serious. Time to reel that in. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see us on Facebook and Instagram at Disneyland somewhere.
Chilling.
You know what I mean? Chilling because they getting A's and B's in school. My daughter right now is studying for a doctorate. A's,
Oh, wow.
straight A's, yeah, A's,
Wow.
B's.
Congrats,
Word,
congrats.
yeah,
That's great,
yep,
that's great.
yeah. And my same with my son. My son, he was gone off tracks a little bit, but now he right back to A's and B's. You know what I mean?
Good.
So
That's good.
sometimes and most times, soft parenting does work. So I want to clear that up. The Bible says if you don't chasten it, your child, you hate them. You know what I mean? So you got to chasten them. You got to beat them with a rod. And, you know, everybody want to talk about interpretations. Well, a rod is, look it up. You can look that up on your own time in the dictionary, what a rod is. It's going to say a stick. It's going to say a wooden object, a switch. It's not going to say words or whatever you're trying to mix it up to be a rod to, you know, and, you know, you just got to discipline them, you know?
So James, you've got 2 kids, right? One is biological and the second is not.
He took her in.
You took her in, right?
She
Are you
not.
yeah. Do you want to have more kids in the future? Or is that it for you?
Okay, so I kind of got a confession to make on that part. So God's working with all of us, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I am this perfect Christian. You know, I'm more spiritual than religious. So I'm going to get that out of the way, that God is still working with me and he chasteneth me as well. And I don't want to say the situation is chasteneth, but it definitely was a wake up call. But there is a possibility that, you know, I could be having a James Jr. A James the Third, because I already got a James Jr. I could be having another baby on the way for sure.
James,
For sure.
Gourmet
Yeah,
pies.
definitely.
What do you mean could be? You're not sure
Could
if it's
be.
yours?
I mean, you know what? Out of respect for her and her family, she's 100% sure.
Okay.
I'm just not 100% sure because it wasn't built on anything. It was just
So it wasn't like a relationship?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like this summer, you know, respectfully.
You were wilding out.
Yeah,
James.
basically for the last little while. You know?
Serving more than pies.
You know,
Hey,
guys
James,
would be like, yo, reel it in, bro, reel it in.
It's not just pies you've been baking up, is it? What's going on, James?
You know what? But you know what? It was such a wake up call. Like, I'm ready to chill. Like, I'm ready to like really fall back, really focus on myself and the kids that I have. You know, financially, I'm doing good.
I mean, congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Congratulations.
that.
First
For
thing
sure,
I should say is
definitely.
congratulations. Kids are a blessing.
Yo, definitely.
I do want to ask you, James, how did you feel and the people around? I mean, does your family know?
For the most part, yeah, for sure.
So this is the first time
Well,
some
they
people
know
are going to
now.
find out. This is the first time.
They know now for sure. The rest of them, but you know, the people in my immediate circle, my mom, my brothers.
Okay.
You know, my kids.
What about your kids?
Like,
Oh, your kids.
yeah.
They know.
for
So
sure.
how did they feel?
Oh, yeah.
How did they feel that you could be having another child?
I think it hit us all like, what? How is this even possible? You know? So it took a long time to really come to grips with it. You know, my mom said, stay respectful, go to all the appointments, you know, like keep everything cordial, and of course that's what it is. And you know, if it is mine, like we'll go from there. I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't be, but you know, you got to be for sure, I guess, in this day and
So
age. So.
I know you said you guys aren't in a relationship, but are you dating or are you still single? Like, what's your love life looking like right now?
You know what? And it kind of sounds weird right now, but we're taking it slow, right? How could I say that now, right? But
Okay.
we kind of taking it slow right now. Like, you know, like I said, once the baby's born and everything is confirmed, like I'm a man first, you know, so I'm gonna make sure that I step up and be that man. And you know, of course, it's not going to be like, because, you know, I like taking on my kids. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not going to be like, well, here goes the baby. You can just run off. And it's not going to be the same for her either. You know what I mean? So we just got to figure some things out, take it slow, really get to, we're at a point now where we're getting to know each other,
Okay.
you know? So I'm not, I just don't know yet, you know?
I do have to ask James, because I'm calculating here. Please just let me know. This was not during Pop the Balloon, was it? I don't know
No,
when this
no, no,
happened,
no.
but I'm
Oh,
just
okay. It
No,
was
no,
after.
no, not at all. For sure.
okay.
This is still brand new.
Oh,
This is
so
Okay,
you're in
brand
the
new.
beginning
Yeah.
stages.
The
Okay.
very beginning
Because
stages.
I was
For
Wow.
about
sure.
to say
Okay.
James.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say James Gourmet Pies.
Yeah.
You told me you were single.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now I might
Okay.
say it was conceived around that time, but yeah.
Ooh, James.
Because I mean, also as well, there's probably people gonna say, you claim that you are a Christian and stuff like this, and
Yeah, definitely.
so how do you feel about
Okay,
that?
so yeah, so for me, there's a distinct difference between being religious and being spiritual.
Okay.
Um, Again, I don't want to get too deep because I know a lot of people they don't play about their religion, and I don't, religious people can do that. I seen what they did to Jesus Christ, right? The Roman Catholics. So I believe that being spiritual means you have a connection with God more than the church, right? Some people that, and again, I'm not being judgmental. I just feel like I've met a lot of people in church that don't really have a sincere connection with God. You know, I feel like that they just do it out of necessity or what they used to doing. So I think that God is with us all the time. You don't have to go to church. And to be honest with you, church didn't mean as much as it did back then for me as it does now. Because for me, it's a place of worship. It's like I need God because I mess up. You know what I mean? One of my favorite rappers is DMX, and he broke it down to like, every time I messed up, it brought me closer to God because I needed him. You know what I mean?
So just not to cut you there, right? When did you do this, knowing that this is the woman that you want to marry? Like, did you, when you and the woman were together, were you thinking that, this is the woman that I might want to marry, so whatever comes to it, it is what it is. I want to stick with this woman. Was you thinking that at the time, or would you say like it happened?
Yeah,
And
it kind
then
of just happened. It definitely was like it was, like how you just go out sometimes and you have a couple drinks or you know what I mean? Like it was just one
James
of those
Gourmet
situations and
Pies.
exactly. And I just had to really come to grips with like, you're not 20 no more. You're not 22 no
Right,
more.
right.
You did that at its purest form. I did it, when I was military, I was in different countries and all that other stuff. So you kind of get caught up in that lifestyle and, like, especially once you break up. When you break up with somebody, then you start really wilding out,
Right.
because you know that you don't want to be with somebody, but you miss that intimacy and you miss that everything that you had with that person before. And so you out here looking for it from other people, and it's surface level. It's not like deep or anything like that. So I had to find myself, reconnect with God. Like it was like, okay, this is what it is. And some people, they need a wake up call, and to me, this was a wake up call that it's time to chill out, you know? So to be honest, that lustful spirit is not even. So my mom has a way of cussing you out without cussing you out. Right? I told you she's such a churchgoer. She loves God, and she was sending me so many different scriptures about a lustful spirit, and I was like, well, where were you at a couple months ago? You know what I mean? Like, you should have been sending that then, right? But now I get it. I get it. Like, I'll be honest with you, my lustful spirit is not nowhere near what it was before. Now I don't think, like, when I go on dates or something like that, that's kind of one of the furthest things that I'm thinking about. I'm not like dating right now, but I'm saying, like, if I'm interacting with women or something like that, it's not like that's all I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm everywhere with it,
Yeah. For sure. Okay. No, yeah, that was all for me.
Because I just wanted to say you are trying to work things out with the potential baby mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
we'll
so
see where it goes. I mean,
so there's no,
again, like it's
no
not
returning
gonna be
for you, James Gourmet Pies. No returning to you on Pop the Balloon. No returning for you on Blind Date Love.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you want to leave it up to the viewers, but
the viewers are gonna say, James, go working out with your future baby, okay? Your future baby mom.
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, once everything is etched in stone, then that's when it's gonna get real for me. So.
Keep us updated, bro. Like,
definitely.
We wish you the best, and we wish her the best as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything works out for you.
It should be around like March, April time frame.
Oh,
so maybe we'll come back on the podcast. I might have a little baby.
Yeah.
Might be like, hey, I'm ready for season 3.
Oh my god!
Season 3 is already out. By that time, we're probably
season 4. Like season 7. I know, right? We still on season 1 of the Blind Date.
Yes, still there.
Yeah, we still on season 1 of Blind Date.
Yes. So, James, I want to ask as well, like, what are you looking for right now for your business? Are you looking for investors? Are you looking to take it abroad? I must say as well, we have to talk about your shipping costs because people are complaining.
Let's talk about that now.
Okay, so what's in the works right now? So right now, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see I've been having interviews and pitching events with major corporations like U.S. Foods, Nicholas and Company, major hospitals. That's what I'm more committed to. Like, I love being able to ship nationwide, but to be honest with you, if I do make something off shipment, it's very minimal. Usually it's breaking even because, people want me to put handling fees on top of that. They're like, well, if they can afford $50 in shipping, they can afford $60. But that's not where my vision for the company is, right? My vision is to be able to be in chow halls in the military, is to be in grocery stores, is to be in major distribution companies, like I said, Nicholas, U.S. Foods. I just got off the phone yesterday with Dash Mart. So hopefully, we're in different Dash Marts in different, cities and states. So I'm going to start with the places that order the highest. Texas, California, Arizona has been amazing. Maryland has been great. South Carolina, North Carolina. It's so many different states, like that order heavy volumes. So I'm going to start there with their Dash Marts.
Okay.
So to be able to, so I'm working on it. I'm trying to work on it. I got a fulfillment center somewhere in the Midwest.
That's good.
And they have fulfillment centers all the way throughout America. But to go to your original question, if there's an investor that is watching and God puts it on their heart that they want to have a conversation, I'm definitely down with that, because you have to think, in order to get them to the fulfillment centers, if it's direct to customer, that's cash heavy. Right. Grocery stores is cash heavy. I started in grocery stores. We was selling out of pallets at a time in the grocery stores, and they steady ordering. And I'm like, what about the last 2 pallets? Like, you guys send some checks. You know what I mean? Like, we still a small business around here. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, just an investment. And if not, then I know God got me. Like he didn't bring me this far to bring me this far. You know what I mean? So I'm just going with it. Whatever happens, happens. You know.
Good.
I think it's time to read some comments.
Let's read some comments.
Let's see what the people have to say about Mr. James Gourmet Pie. So, the first comment I have here, the person wrote, question, what are 3 words your family and friends would use to describe you? And James would respond saying, James Gourmet Pies.
You know what? Probably. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you got a talent, you better let the people know. You know what I mean?
Some people said that this guy's first name is James, middle name is
Gourmet,
and
last name
is
Pies.
Pie.
Oh, man.
You know what? If you went to, what's his name? DJ Khaled, and y'all asked him, what's your name? He's going to say, I'm DJ Khaled, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's the other rapper? Rick Ross? That's not his real name. But if you ask him what his name is, he's going to say, my name is Rick Ross, you know?
I mean, I get that, but the point of the matter
name.
is, though, these are musicians, bro. This is the dating
show.
Okay. So don't come with the stage name. Don't come with the stage name. You know what? It's so second nature. It's so second nature that that's my identity. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I meet somebody in the grocery store or high level execs, you know what I mean? Like within that first minute or two, you're going to know exactly who I am and what I do. And if you want to investigate that and carry that conversation on, we can. If not, we can move along. You know what I mean? But you're going to know who I am for sure.
I mean, everyone knows now, essentially, it worked.
Right.
You know,
are people stopping you like, hey?
So,
you know what? James. And that's a great question. Even before the show, right? When people see me, they're like, hey, you're not James. Or, you know, they're like, I know you, but I don't know what your name is or something like that. Anytime they see me out in the streets, it's like, you're the pie guy. You know what I mean? Right. You're the pie guy. You know, whether...
You know, it's crazy because my wife said to me, oh, yeah, let's get ready for the podcast with James. I was like, who's James? I mean, in my head, I'm like, it has to be James
you have
Gourmet
to say
Pies.
James Gourmet Pies.
So even though your name is James, I'm like, where's the Gourmet Pies? You know?
Right. You know, I feel sorry for any James that comes on your show.
Literally.
We
haven't had one yet.
I feel like there was one, and they was like, the only James is James Gourmet Pies.
Oh, he was on Blind Date Love. He was on Blind Date Love.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Right. We still get comments of different videos. People still commenting
all day.
There's this comment here. Someone said, this person is called Bunny Boo 6261. They said James Gourmet Pies will live rent free in my head. So, you know, some people will be sleeping and they're hearing James Gourmet Pies.
Oh, man.
Hopefully that's a good thing. You know, I hope it's not a bad thing.
Hey, you know, it got your name out there. You're the king of marketing. You know what you were doing. Like, you know how to do it well and it flows. It wasn't. It flows. A lot of people didn't say it was cringy. Like, people liked it, surprisingly. Like, I was really surprised that people liked it because I thought people were going like, does this guy know this is a dating show? Why is he out here branding and marketing himself?
People keep eyeing us like, BM, what's going on? Why are you letting him keep promoting himself? I'm like, when I was filming this, right, at first I was like, is this guy going to keep saying this? Like, in a way, some people, the way they promote themselves, like, they do it in a way that's like, just don't do it. You know, stop. But the way you did it was like, it wasn't interrupting. You know, somehow like it was like, okay, that's just who he is. You know? And then essentially,
it's authentic,
right? People understood it. You know, but obviously, if it was to ever happen again, I'll say James. This time, your name is.
You are James.
Like the reunion, I was like, y'all know who I am by now,
right? Oh, he didn't say it.
You know what?
Did he?
And to be
I
honest
think he
with
did.
You, it's so harder for me to be like James. Without the gourmet pies.
Right.
I got it. Sometimes I will try to catch myself, but 9 times out of 10, it's like, I'm James. Yeah,
I'm James.
Right.
And then they looking for it. What do you do? Because you know what? I seen people eat people alive when they come on here and say I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, and they're like, no, you're an entrepreneur. Is. Yeah. Because even myself, I'm fishing for it. Like, I want to be able to support you, brother. I want to be able to support you, queen. What do you do? You know,
right?
Like, tell me what you do.
What are your businesses?
What are your businesses? You know, now maybe I overdid it again, but like, again, like it's harder for me to stop myself when I'm introducing myself than, you know, it is to
You
just
definitely
like,
left your mark. That is what you
yeah,
call leaving a stamp somewhere.
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
you know, because if you look at Pop the Balloon, you're up there, one of the biggest names that's been on our show, James Gourmet.
You get commented on every single episode.
You feel me? So, yeah. And I actually had a discussion with my wife already about this. And, you know, everyone's saying that they're entrepreneurs and stuff like that. We spoke that we have to start asking them, what is it that you do? Because, you know,
yeah.
people have 7,000 jobs, and I'd be like, okay, but, you know, which one is the one that makes you
Which one pays your bills?
right?
Exactly. And you know what? When I first started, I was a entrepreneur, but I would tell people I'm an entrepreneur, and it was really an MLM, you know. And you could see those people coming when they're like, I'm an entrepreneur, but they're not really telling you what they do. You know, they're like, oh, well, all you need to do is buy into this, and you can be an entrepreneur too. Yeah,
Right,
like,
right,
it's a
right,
pyramid.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, nah,
right,
you're
right.
not an entrepreneur, but
Right. I mean, a lot of them are, you know, a lot of them are. It's just that we need to know what is it that
What are
makes
you
you an
doing?
entrepreneur.
yeah,
You know.
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, James, do you have a pie with you that we can see?
Oh yeah, I do.
Come on now, King
You
of
know I
Marketing.
do.
That should have been the
Yeah,
first thing you came out with.
James Gourmet pies. Didn't you see at the reunion I started as
Wow.
the little intro with him holding the pie
Holding
and
the
walking
pie.
out? Can you bring it closer to the camera, please, bro? Let's see that pie.
The pie.
Yes, let's see it.
You get it.
Wow.
Yes, let's
This is
see.
my personal
There's the
stash.
pie.
So, yeah, whenever they have a little imperfection, that's mine. You know what
Oh.
I mean?
I was
People ask
looking-
me if I still eat my pies. Yes, I do.
I was
Good.
looking for this
Regularly.
pie at the reunion. It was all gone.
Oh my God, they tore up the pie because
Crumbs
James
and all.
always comes, you know, and blesses us with some pies.
And then
Definitely,
we don't even
definitely.
get some.
Yeah, it was gone.
You know what? I'm gonna ship y'all some. Let me know.
Oh.
And you know what?
Free
I'm gonna give you
shipping?
my new flavors too. Hey, for
Okay.
y'all it will be. Not for the world. You know what I mean? Can't afford that. Can't afford that. But you know, we got some new flavors coming out and all that
Uh-oh.
stuff.
That's
So
great.
I would like your feedback.
Okay.
You know, and I want more people. Well, they don't have to, but it would be nice if people was like to share their opinion. You know, like tag me in it. You eating that first bite? I want to see what your reaction is. You know,
Yeah.
that original, authentic reaction. You know, not after you done ate the whole thing, but that first one. You know, because it always hits people like, okay,
know.
all right. Now
When we
know.
get our free pie, we got to record our
That's
reaction.
right. There you go. There you go.
I also want everyone that's watching this podcast to really support our guy.
Yes.
Yeah, support James Gourmet Pies. You know, order your pie, record your reaction,
Pay the shipping fee,
pay the
guys.
shipping
Okay.
fee, you know, and yeah, just
Let them
support
go to
him.
Ruth Chris. They pay $150 for a starter menu, but
You see?
know I shouldn't say the name, but there's a lot of different names out there. They'll go and spend $200 a plate. You know what I mean? And but now want to support a brother. And you know what? I want to return that to you guys because one thing that really frustrates me is y'all get millions of views, and I think last time I checked, it was still under 600,000 followers.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
why won't y'all like, subscribe, share? You know what I mean? Like, why y'all so stingy with the likes?
Come on, y'all.
Subscribe. Hit the notifications. Word. BM channel, RLS channel. They giving
Yes.
us premium content and y'all won't subscribe. Subscribe right now while you're thinking about it.
Thanks, James.
Thank you,
Appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Word. Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry I had to get that off my chest.
Can you please let us know where we can get these pies from? Just say
Yeah.
the website so I can put it up on the screen.
So right now, jamesgourmet.com. Continue following the page, James Gourmet Pies, all handles, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. And as soon as we get the fulfillment center, that'll be posted. As soon as, you know, we get into grocery stores, that'll be posted. The moment that, you know, we can get into some of these wholesale accounts, that'll be posted. Like, you just got to follow the journey. And it's levels to it, and you'll know when we made it because they'll be in every store. You know, every grocery store. I don't want to just be able to cater to the upper echelons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the middle class and up. You'll be surprised. Here in Utah, it's beautiful. I'll do some deliveries over the mountain, and their houses is like, oh my God, it looks like
Mansions.
a library.
Right.
Mansion.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't want that to just be my crowd. I want to be able to take EBT, because there's also times that there's also times that I'll deliver to a trailer. I'll go straight from a trailer to
Right.
a $10 million house. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I mean, that shows
I
the
appreciate
range that you're reaching people all over, people of all
Yeah.
walks.
Right,
like,
right,
that's
right.
amazing.
And
So
that-
just
you-
keep going.
definitely.
That's another thing as well. I love for my, I love for everything that I do, my music, even our show, to be available to everyone. Like that's why I even love that we have our show on YouTube, because it reaches everybody around the world, and they can all watch it for free. You know, and that's an amazing thing, to do. So yeah,
It's
when
premium content. So they
you
better
wanna
start
do a good
subscribing.
reach. So that's good.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Well, James, we do thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you for making the time and speaking with us today, letting us get to know you, talking about your life, your business, all of that. We wish you all the best in any and everything that you continue to put your foot into. So good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Likewise.
No,
Thank
for
you.
sure. Thank you for coming on, James Gourmet Pies. It was a pleasure having you on this podcast. And so I do want to tell everybody, make sure you follow James on Instagram. His Instagram handle is there. Follow my wife at Arlette Amuli, and follow me at artist_BM. James, just say your Instagram handle, please.
At James Gourmet Pies.
Perfect.
That's it. The free names, the free.
All three of us here.
James Gourmet Pies. Right there.
That's right. Stop what you're doing. Like, subscribe. Everybody here.
Everything.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you buy his pies as well. And guys, please comment below who you want to see us interview next. Also follow my wife on her YouTube. Subscribe to her channel, Arlette Amuli, and subscribe to here as well. We're bringing out so much content, guys. We are working. So we will catch you all next time, and I hope we get some of them pies from James.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get some of them pies.
It's coming. Send
right.
me that address or wherever you want me to send it to, and it's coming.
Will do. All right.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next
Catch you next time.
time.
All right.